to the channel. Today we are going to go over the curriculum we're going to be using for our English for 2022-2023. So first I'm going to show you what we've been using. If you did not know, I have Bell's palsy and it started for me at the end of January. And so it's been about 7 months now that I've been going through that. And so schooling has looked a lot different, and I've learned a great deal about school since then. So I had to start using something a lot easier for myself, and I feel like we fell back a little bit, but that's okay. I had to switch things up, and this is what we changed to. And so with that being said, for the beginning of the school year, we are going to continue using this along with adding in other curriculum. I know generally when you don't finish a curriculum, you just kind of leave it and then start something new the next year. I don't want to do that. So we have been using the Elemental Phonics by JDA. I got this off Teachers Pay Teachers. As you see here, JDA Learning Resources, and it has been wonderful. I needed something very light, and I needed to continue with the progress of teaching her how to read. Because the first couple of months was really hard, we really put a hard stop on school. I'll say a pause. We put a hardcore pause on school, and picking it back up was a little challenging. So we needed something that was going to be something that was like more easygoing, kind of open and go, not a heavy workload, just a gentle approach. And this was definitely gentle. So this program was great. It's had to start all the way over from the beginning. This is like their kindergarten curriculum, I would say, or kindergarten resource, where you start all the way over at the beginning, just learning how to enunciate the sounds, which is the most important thing when you're trying to teach how to read and you want phonetics to be on point. We started here, and so she went through and she completed, it doesn't have the check marks on all of it, but she completed all of this. Hey, I wanted to jump in here really quick to have a transparent moment. Because of my Bell's palsy, I was not able to post for months. Because of that, my channel is suffering a bit. So it would mean a lot to me if you would take a moment to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment of a heart, or just say hi and share it if at all possible. Now back to your video. Going through all of the sounds, as you can see here with the vowel sounds as well, all the way until the back of here, which gives you start to go into sentences, very short sentences. We actually stopped here and started to read small books, so we will go back to this as well. But this portion of it is just just sentences that get a little bit more challenging. But once they've learned how to have the sounds down, which is very important that this is consistent, that you're consistent with this, because that's how they will memorize and make it like automatic knowing sounds and things like that. So yeah, so here is that. So this worked really well. We'll continue to use this. We're going to go to the next level. And then we also used this, which is the first one for sight words. Worked well for her. So going into the next year, we're going to finish this up and then go over the words for first grade as well. So let me just give you an idea of what that looks like. So it tells you here what to do on day 1, day 2, and day 3. So you read the words a few times with the kid, and then you read it, and then you have them read it, each word, and then you do the word match exercise. And then day 2, same thing, you have them read it without error, so you continue to read it until they don't have any errors, until they're moving into like the mastered category. And then you do this activity, find and color. And then day 3, you read the words again. There's 5 sight words each week or each lesson that you're doing. You read it a few times without error, in and out of order, and then you trace and write, do the trace and write exercise. This is an optional activity. We always opt to do flashcards anytime we can. So creating flashcards and reviewing the previous week's words. So here's the master list so that you can continue to review the previous week's words. But here's an example. So you would read a a list of the words. Okay, so for example, this is week 4. So these are the words for week 4. So you would review those every single day. You just keep reading over and over them. Hopefully they will have mastered them by day 2 or 3, whatever works for your kid, in and out of order. And then you would go and do the activity for the word. So this is the word match here. And then the next day they would read the words again, and then they would do the find and color, where they would find each word and color them in the proper, the appropriate color that's below it. So you give them that. And then they would do the trace and write here. So there's that. And then you would move on to the next set of words. So that's how that works. It worked really well for us. So like I said, we are going to, once we're finished with this, because we're not done yet, then we're going to move on to the next, to the first grade words. So this is something that we used last year that we will continue to use this year. So I wanted to make sure I showed you guys that. Stored it in this flex binder here. Okay, so this is something that we will use this year as well. Again, Jace won't need to because he has already mastered all of these words. So let's continue to move on. Technically she is in first grade, but we did not complete this last year. And so we're going to complete this. This goes over phonics, reading, spelling, literature, grammar and punctuation, and art appreciation. This is the level K by The Good and the Beautiful, language, arts, and literature. I don't know if you guys know, but you can print this off for free if you want to try it online. I had printed it off too, just to make sure it was something that I wanted to use before we purchase. I always do that. Try to print, a few lessons off. But I want to make sure that she is good and ready to go with this one. So we're going to finish this up. And then I also want her to be able to read through this as well. She can't yet read through all of these, and so I want to make sure that she can before I move on. So we're going to go through this. This year is going to be a little bit different because we have a few different levels that we need to go through just to ensure that she's where I want her to be. I had and added the reading booster books. There is that. So we have this reader, and then I purchased the reading booster books here, and then we also have the booster cards as well. So this goes with level K, as you can see here. This is new. We didn't have this last year. I didn't even know that they had this. So searching on the website, I found this. So we'll be using all 3 of these initially, and then once she's done with that and I feel comfortable enough, we're going to go into the next level, which is language, arts, and literature level 1. So this is the course book. This is where she will get all of her work done. And here, very pretty. Open to go, super easy. So we have that. And then here are the cards that she'll need in here. It's like cardstock, it really is. That goes along with the curriculum. And then here is the books for level 1. So we'll have that as well. So that's what Savannah will be using. As for Jace, Jace is my 2nd grader. He will be going into the language, arts, and literature level 2. And so this is what he will be using, and he is all set and ready to go with this one. He's right on track for it. So we have that, and then it came with this booster C reading cards here. So these are things that go along with his curriculum as well. And he will be just using books. We have books from the library, which will all be in a separate video. We have books, The Good and the Beautiful books, and then we'll also be going to the library to pick out books. But I'm going to plan all of that out, so you guys will be able to see me planning that out. So this is what I'm using for language arts. As you can see here, I've cut out a lot. Normally I have Explode the Code, and I have all kind of other things, and I cut all of that out. We're not doing any of that this year. We're keeping it very simple to the point because I don't know what my health is going to look like for this year, and I need to keep it as simple, as streamlined as possible. So this is what we're using for language arts, and I will keep you guys posted if something is to change. Okay? All right, you guys, if you want to see manipulatives that we're going to be using, that will be in a separate video for language arts. I have a ton of them. It would take forever to go through the curriculum and those. So stay with me. We will get through those. Until next time, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye, friends.